How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Boili Hobby Time. In this video, I'm going to be building a Nano Nook depicting a scene from the movie Tenet. If you haven't seen it yet, don't worry, I won't include any spoilers. In a previous build, I measured this incorrectly and had a very difficult time fitting everything in at the end, so made sure to get the exact measurement this time. For the majority of the interior of this, I used 040 styrene sheets. Once I had the walls, the floor, and the ceiling cut out, I glued them together. I did this before assembling the rest of the room so that I knew exactly how much space I had to work with. I knew I wanted to be able to remove the clear plastic if I had to. So to do this, I cut out two identical frames. Then I glued a spacer between the frames on either side. It allowed me to take the plastic out for the painting process, which made this a whole lot easier. At the back of this room there is a round portion with some doors in it. So I used a compass to cut the top of this out of some XPS insulation foam. I sanded it down and carved the shape. I think this is supposed to be concrete in the movie, so I tried to make it look like that. For the lower portion of this back wall, I used some 020 styrene sheets. I cut out the doors and I used some heat to make sure that it conformed to the round shape. I cut the foam at the back in half, sandwiched the window between it, made sure it fit properly, and then glued the bottom portion in place. With the layout pretty much in place, it was time to move on to working out the lighting. I use this LED tape. This stuff is pretty incredible because you get tons of different color options, and it's very inexpensive. Cut out two holes on either side for a red strip and a blue strip. Just made sure the holes were exactly spaced out so that the LED would drop down kind of like a can light on a ceiling. I decided to make my own little folding chairs out of some copper wire. This proved to be very tedious. I'm not used to making foldable chairs out of wire, and I had dug a very deep hole in the yard. There was a leak in the sprinkler system, so I had to dig a hole, and I was feeling pretty shaky when I did this assembly, so I was not super stoked about that. But in the end, they did go together, and I think there's some pretty cute little folding chairs, if I do say so myself. And then went back and added a little bit of texture and detail to some of the walls. And after that, I primed everything black. Getting these pieces of tape lined up perfectly was a little bit of a challenge, but after a little trial and error, I got it to work out. I used an old USB cord for this, as well as some excess wire I had lying around. I wired one strip up to blue and the other one up to red. I used my airbrush with a flat gray to add the base coat, and then afterwards I used some paint thinner to add some streaking and weathering. To get the look of the reinforced bulletproof glass, I scored the plastic a bunch of times with the X-Acto knife, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. To finish things off, I spray painted the interior of the acrylic box. I really like the way this looks. And after that was dry, I assembled it and called it good. Well, that is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did see the movie Tenet, tell me what you thought about it down in the comments. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts and opinions on it. Have a great week, everyone. I'll see you next time.